What if I told you that the part of yourself you've been taught to hide, to feel ashamed of, to release in moments of fleeting, solitary pleasure, is the very source of your divine power? What if that restless energy, that insatiable hunger that drives you in the dead of night, isn't a curse to be managed, but a dragon to be tamed? A fire that, instead of burning you from the inside out, could be channeled to forge the reality of your dreams. I want you to consider a deeply uncomfortable question: what is the true cost of your pleasure? Not in terms of morality, not in terms of sin or virtue, but in the currency of your own life force, your ambition, your focus, your very presence in the world. We live in a society that has sold you a profound and debilitating lie about your most primal creative force. It has taken the sacred fire of creation, the very energy that births galaxies and weaves life into existence, and reduced it to a cheap commodity. It has been packaged, marketed, and sold back to you as a momentary escape, a neurological trick, a pixelated fantasy on a screen that leaves you emptier than before. You are conditioned to see desire as an itch that must be scratched, a pressure that must be released. You've been taught that this energy is for one thing and one thing only: a brief, explosive moment of physical release, after which you are left depleted, drained, your mind clouded, and your will weakened. The world wants you numb. It wants you distracted, and it wants you to waste your most potent fuel on trivialities. It encourages you to spill your seed into the void, to chase an endless series of hollow echoes of connection, leaving you in a state of perpetual hunger and quiet desperation. It tells you this is freedom. It is the most sophisticated form of slavery ever devised. But there are whispers of a different path, ancient truths echoed in esoteric texts, and in the writings of men who shaped the world with the force of their will. Napoleon Hill, in his meticulous study of the most successful men of his era, stumbled upon this guarded secret. He called it sexual transmutation, a term that sounds alchemical, mystical, and perhaps even abstract. But it is the most practical, grounded, and world-altering secret you will ever encounter. Hill discovered that men of great achievement, the titans of industry, the visionaries, the magnetic leaders, had one thing in common. They had learned, either consciously or unconsciously, not to suppress this powerful energy, but to harness it, to redirect it. They understood that the very same energy that creates human life is the energy that creates fortunes, that builds empires, that composes symphonies, that unlocks scientific breakthroughs. It is the raw, untamed energy of life itself, and you have an infinite well of it within you. This is not about celibacy in the name of piety or denial. This is not about repression born from fear or shame. This is about mastery. It is an internal alchemy, the art of turning the base metal of raw, carnal lust into the pure gold of genius, charisma, and unshakable will. It is the journey of transforming the inner beast into an inner god. Imagine this energy as a great river flowing through you. Society has taught you to build a dam that cracks under the pressure, releasing its contents in a chaotic, destructive flood that erodes your own landscape. Or it has taught you to open the floodgates at every minor surge, draining the reservoir until the land is parched and barren, incapable of growth. The path of transmutation teaches you to become the master engineer of this river. You learn to build canals, to direct its immense power to irrigate the fields of your mind, to power the turbines of your ambition, to illuminate your very soul. This energy, when retained and redirected, doesn't just stagnate. It refines itself. It begins to rise, moving from the lower centers of primal urges up into the higher centers of creativity, intellect, and spiritual awareness. It's the difference between a scattered firecracker and a concentrated laser beam. The firecracker makes a loud noise, a brief flash of light, and then there is only smoke and emptiness. The laser, with the same essential energy but focused, can cut through steel. That is the power you are squandering. That is the power you are being invited to reclaim. This force, when misunderstood and allowed to run rampant, becomes the shadow that haunts you. It manifests as compulsion, as the addiction that keeps you glued to screens, seeking a pleasure that never satisfies. It becomes the social anxiety that makes you shrink in the presence of others, the mental fog that prevents you from thinking clearly, the creative block that stops you from bringing your ideas to life. It is the source of the neediness that repels genuine connection, the search for validation in others because you have emptied yourself of your own. When you mindlessly release this energy, you are not just releasing a physical fluid, you are releasing your vitality, your drive, your personal magnetism. You are literally giving away your power. But when this energy is recognized, honored, and consciously directed, it becomes the source of your greatest strengths. It transforms into an unshakable inner presence. This is the root of true confidence. It's not an arrogant swagger or a loud, boastful personality. It is a quiet, deep, centered knowing of your own power. It's the ability to hold eye contact without flinching, not as a technique, but because your inner world is so solid, so full of energies, that the outside world no longer intimidates you. It's a stillness that radiates strength. People feel it, they may not know what it is, but they are drawn to the man who is full of his own life force, who isn't leaking his energy in 1,000 different directions. He becomes magnetic, his words carry more weight, his presence commands respect without demanding it. He is a king on his own throne, the sovereign of his own inner kingdom. This is the warrior's path. The journey of transmutation is a journey into the heart of your own being, a confrontation with the deepest parts of your psyche. It demands that you face your own shadow, the part of you that craves escape, the part that feels unworthy, the part that runs from silence and stillness. Every urge for a quick release is a message from your soul. It's not just a physical impulse, it's a signpost pointing to a deeper void. What are you truly hungry for? Is it pleasure, or is it a release from the pain of feeling disconnected? Is it intimacy, or is it a distraction from the fear of your own solitude? Are you trying to feel something, or are you trying to stop feeling everything? The compulsive need to ejaculate is often a desperate attempt to release psychic tension, the tension of a life unlived, of potential unrealized, of a purpose ignored. You are invited to become a detective of your own desires, to sit with the urge, not as an enemy to be vanquished, but as a messenger to be understood. When the fire of desire rises, instead of immediately seeking to extinguish it, you learn to sit with it, to breathe into it, to feel its raw power without being consumed by it. This is the crucible of transformation. In that moment of conscious choice, you are no longer a slave to the impulse. You become its master. You take that raw, chaotic, and powerful energy, and you give it a new mission. You close your eyes, you feel that fire in your gut, that electricity in your veins, and you mentally channel it upwards. You direct it to your mind, visualizing it fueling your focus for the project you've been procrastinating on. You channel it into your heart, transforming it into the courage to have that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. You channel it into your hands, feeling it become the creative impulse to write, to paint, to build, to solve. This is a conscious, active process. You are taking the very energy that would have been wasted in a moment of fleeting, pixelated fantasy, and you are investing it into the man you want to become. You are literally building your future self with the bricks of your redirected desire. This is the work of the inner warrior. Stands guard at the gates of your being. Says the phantom armies of distraction, the sirens of cheap pleasure calling from the rocks, and it does not flee. It does not feed them with brute force, for what you resist persists. Instead, he acknowledges them, he understands their origin, and with calm, centered power, he denies them entry. He chooses a higher purpose. He knows that true power is not found in the release, but in the containment and conscious direction of that power. This path requires discipline, but it is not a discipline of grim, white-knuckle denial. It is a discipline born of self-love. It is the act of valuing your future self more than your present craving. It is the ultimate statement of self-worth, a declaration that your life force is too precious to be squandered. As you walk this path, something remarkable begins to happen. The world around you starts to change because you have changed. The constant background noise of lust and craving in your mind begins to cut down. In its place, a profound clarity emerges. You think more clearly, your memory improves, your ability to solve complex problems heightens. You see the world not through a fog of desire, but with the sharp, penetrating gaze of a master. Your energy levels skyrocket. The lethargy that used to plague you in the afternoon is replaced by a steady, vibrant current of vitality that lasts the entire day. You need less sleep, yet you feel more rested. You are no longer running on fumes. You are running on a high-octane, premium fuel source that you generate from within. And your confidence becomes unshakable. It ceases to be something you have to fake till you make it. It becomes your natural state of being. It is the confidence of a loaded weapon, not in its firing, but in the knowledge of its potential. It's a calm, quiet power that emanates from you. In conversations, you are more present. You listen more deeply. You speak with more intention. You stop seeking approval, because you are already full. This fullness, this inner wealth, is what makes you truly attractive. It is a magnetism that has nothing to do with pick-up lines or manipulative techniques and everything to do with the powerful, coherent energy field you are radiating. The journey into sexual transmutation is the ultimate hero's journey. It is a descent into your own abyss, your own underworld. You must face the minotaur of your own compulsions, the Medusa of your own shame, the sirens of your own addictions. You will be tempted to turn back, to return to the comfortable numbness of your old patterns. The shadow will whisper to you that this is too hard, that it's unnatural, that you are denying yourself a basic human pleasure. It will try to convince you that a moment of release is worth more than a lifetime of power. This is the great test. To face these inner demons, not by repressing them into the darkness, where they only grow stronger, but by bringing them into the light of your awareness. You must look your compulsions in the eye and ask them, what are you here to teach me? What wound are you trying to soothe? What potential are you hiding? When you do this, the shadow loses its power over you. The compulsion, unseen and understood, begins to dissolve. It is no longer a monstrous master, but a wounded child within you seeking love and integration. You learn to give that part of yourself not the cheap fix it craves, But the true healing it needs a sense of purpose, a connection to your higher self, a mission that is greater than any fleeting pleasure. This journey, this alchemical process is not a quick fix. It is a lifelong practice, a path of constant refinement. There will be moments of failure, moments where the old conditioning pulls you back. But this is not about perfection. It is about direction. It is about direction. It is about getting back up, recalibrating, and continuing the great work. It's a commitment you make to yourself, to your potential, to the man you know you are capable of becoming. And this journey can feel solitary, but it doesn't have to be. The path of the warrior is often walked alone, but the strongest warriors belong to a tribe. They share knowledge, they offer support, they hold each other accountable to a higher standard. The very fact that you are listening to this, that these words are resonating in your soul, means you have been called to this path. You are not here by accident. You are here because a part of you is ready to awaken, ready to stop settling for a life of quiet desperation, and to start claiming your birthright of power, purpose, and presence. This exploration of our deepest energies is the core of what we do here. We are not interested in superficial life hacks or motivational platitudes. We are here to do the deep work, the shadow work, the transformational work that forges a man of true substance. If you are ready to commit to this path, not just as a passive viewer, but as an active participant in your own evolution, then I invite you to join this tribe, subscribe to this channel, and more importantly, ring that bell. Let that bell be more than just a notification setting. Let it be a symbol of your intention. Let the sound of that bell be a reminder of the warrior you are awakening within you, a signal to yourself and to the universe that you are no longer available for a life of mediocrity. You are ready to master the fire within. Once you make this conscious choice, the universe conspires to help you. You begin to see the world through a new lens. You see how everything in modern culture is designed to drain you of this sacred energy. The hypersexualist advertising, the endless scroll of social media that feeds on envy and desire, the food that deadens your senses and weakens your will. You become an observer of the matrix, and in observing it, you are no longer controlled by it. You learn to navigate this world as a conscious creator, not a mindless consumer. Your interactions with others change profoundly. You are no longer seeking to extract something from them, validation, pleasure, an ego boost. Because you are full, you begin to operate from a place of overflow. You can give your full presence, your full attention, your genuine strength to others. This makes you a pillar in your community, a leader in your field, a man that others look to for guidance and stability. The creative impulse, fueled by this potent, refined energy, becomes a torrent. The ideas that were once fleeting thoughts now demand to be expressed. You find yourself filled with an unstoppable urge to build, to write, to create the thing that only you can bring into this world. This is the true purpose of your sexual energy, not just to procreate another human being, but to give birth to your own genius, to your highest self. Think of the great artists, inventors, and visionaries of history. Nikola Tesla, a man who literally envisioned the technology of the future, lived a life of celibacy, not out of a lack of passion, but because he understood that his immense creative drive required all of his life force. He was transmuting that primal energy into world-changing inventions. Great spiritual leaders throughout history have spoken of this same principle in different languages. The preservation of hojas in yogic tradition, of Jing in Taoism, They all understood that this vital essence was the fuel for spiritual enlightenment and supernatural ability. You hold the same potential. The energy that you are casually discarding is the very same energy that has built civilizations and revealed the secrets of the cosmos. The choice to retain it is the choice to align yourself with the lineage of masters, geniuses, and creators. This is not about becoming inhuman or ascetic. It is about becoming fully human. A man who is a slave to his impulses is only half a man. He is a puppet whose strings are pulled by his biology and his conditioning. The man who has mastered his inner fire is a complete being. He has integrated the beast and the angel within him. He can walk into the world and experience its pleasures without being owned by them. He can appreciate beauty without being consumed by lust. He can feel the full spectrum of human emotion without being capsized by it. He has achieved the ultimate freedom, freedom from his own lower nature. The climax of this journey is not a destination, but a state of being. It is the realization that the power you were seeking outside of yourself, in money, in accolades, in the validation of others, was always within you, coiled like a sleeping serpent at the base of your spine. The great work of transmutation is the process of awakening that serpent, not to let it strike with venomous, uncontrolled lust, but to let it rise gracefully up your spinal column, a symbol of Kundalini, awakening, illuminating each chakra, each energy center, until it blossoms in your mind as enlightenment, genius, and a profound connection to the divine. The man who has mastered this energy is not the one who denies the fire. He is the one who has walked into the heart of the blaze, who has felt its terrifying, awesome power, and who has emerged not scorched, but purified. He has become the fire. He is the alchemist, who has turned his own leaden instincts into the radiant gold of a fully realized soul. He is the warrior who has conquered not 1,000 enemies on the battlefield, but the one true enemy, his own unconscious self. And from this victory, he derives a confidence so deep, so real, so unshakable, that it needs no external validation. It is the confidence of the sun, which shines not because it wants to be seen, but because it is its nature to shine. So, I ask you again, what is the true cost of your pleasure? Is it worth the price of your power, your clarity, your purpose, your legacy? The path is laid before you. It is a path less traveled, a path that demands courage, discipline, and a radical honesty with yourself. It is the path of the king, returning to his throne. Your throne has been empty for too long. Your kingdom, your mind, your body, your life has been run by chaotic, unruly impulses. The time has come to reclaim your sovereignty. The fire is rising within you, even as you listen to these words. Do not let it be wasted. Do not let it be spilled into the ashes of momentary gratification. Take a deep breath. Feel that energy, that life force within you. It is the most precious gift you have. It is the raw material of your destiny. Today, you can make a new choice. You can begin the great work of alchemy. You can start the journey of transmuting your desire into your destiny, your lust into your light, your primal urges into your divine purpose. The warrior within you is waiting. The king is ready to ascend. The fire of creation is yours to command. Step into your power. Begin the journey of transmutation, and watch as your world, both inner and outer, transforms into a masterpiece of your own conscious creation. The power was never outside of you. It was always there, waiting to be awakened, waiting to be honored, waiting to be unleashed, not as a flood of destruction, but as a river of life that nourishes all that you touch. Awaken it now.